Hello everyone, this is Grace. It is August the 26th, 2022, and we are continuing our study in Leviticus. In our next video, we're going to be jumping to Leviticus 4. So this video is to cover some of the corrections that I have for Leviticus 1 so that portion won't be out of order. So let's go ahead, and the first thing I wanted to talk about was the wood on the altar. Here we are. The lay wood on the altar. Lay wood in order on the altar. We had discussed, and I didn't understand the symbolism for the wood. I couldn't understand what that meant, that they would repeatedly say, put wood on the altar. I realized that it doesn't really have anything to do with the wood. It's about this. It says you shall put fire upon the altar. The altar here, and I don't have any errors in this, it says that the fire is not burning on the altar continuously. It's telling them that they need to put fire on the altar, and that's why they have to put the wood on there to keep going, because that fire is not continuously burning. Now, I didn't check where it was continuously burning. I'm not going to branch off into all kinds of things, but I just did not see, when I originally checked this, I didn't see any errors. I haven't checked it. I haven't rechecked it. I'm just pointing it out because we discussed this. Because when I saw when I saw this continually repeated over and over, I wanted to know what the symbolism was for it. There is no symbolism. It's because there's no fire there. They need wood to burn that stuff. Otherwise, the fire's going to go out. There's no wood on there already for a continual fire. So I thought I'd point that out. If I do check it out, I'll mention it, but I haven't so far. Okay. Also, I didn't give you the scriptural support for Deuteronomy 12. In Deuteronomy 12, we discussed the blood. You know what? We have time, since we're doing a whole video of commentary and corrections. Let's just jump there real quick. Deuteronomy 12. And it's near the bottom. I marked it. Here we are. Oh, wait. We have to look at the first occurrence first of the blood. I didn't give you the scriptural support for the blood. Here it says, only ye shall not eat the blood. Ye shall pour it upon the earth as water. Okay. Now, I didn't check it. I just read it. It seems to be right to me. Okay. So I didn't argue with it. And so, but then when you get down here, I hope you've already looked at this. It says, only be sure that you eat not the blood, for the blood is life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. So dramatic. So dramatic. This word right here is soul. The blood is not the soul. This goes all the way back to the very beginning in Genesis. The body combined with the spirit is the soul. That's what the soul is. Now the blood, may sustain that soul. There may be life in the blood of some kind. We know that there's life in our blood. We know that. But it's still not the soul. Words have meanings, people. Meaning, people. The blood is not the soul. So all of this, of course, here we go with the mighty semicolon. The mighty semicolon and the mighty colon. Oh, they use this. Oh, they use this to no end. Here comes the lies. And thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Is that what you're doing by eating blood, really? Is that what you're doing by eating blood? Maybe they mean no, because this word means soul. This word means soul. There's another scripture that I keep trying to think of. The life is in the blood or something like that. That may be perfectly fine. I don't know. This is not right. But the scriptural support that I used is when Isaac blessed Jacob. He told Esau to go and hunt him some meat and prepare for him. So Esau went out. He hunted that meat. He killed it. He cleaned it. He cooked it up for a pot. And then he took it and set it in front of him. And he was still sitting there in that same place. Now, why did he do that? Now, you can think of all kinds of reasons why he might have done it. But he really did it so that we could understand the truth. Because Jacob didn't do any of that. He just went to his mom, got some meat that was already there. His mom cooked it up and sat it in front of Dad, and it was done with it. Esau could have done the same thing. No, he needed to do that so that we could see the truth. Because there's no way that he could have hunted that meat, killed it, cleaned it, and then sat there and waited for it to be purged of all the blood while it's soaked in salt or whatever it is they soak it in, and then got that back to Jacob the same day or a couple of hours later. It's not possible. It's not possible. Not to Jacob, to Isaac. It's not possible. So all of this extra stuff that they're doing is just extra. It's not needed, and it's not taught by the Bible. There's a different scripture that talks about blood that's sacrificed to idols and sacrificed to the Lord. You're not supposed to eat any blood. But my point is that if Isaac was sitting there eating that meat that Esau had just hunted down, all Esau could have done was to have just drained the blood. That's the only option that logically fits. Jacob had to rush out of there before Esau came back. He was rushing and sitting and waiting for blood to be absorbed out of meat is not a quick process. It's not something that's done swiftly. So that's my understanding. Now you may have a different understanding, and that's fine. Maybe if you think that I'm wrong, post it down below. I'm willing to learn. But that's my understanding thus far. That blood needs to be drained. You cannot eat of strangled animals. What's the difference between a clean animal that's bled and a clean animal that's strangled? Why would they say don't eat a strangled animal? Because it has blood in it. I'm sorry, I'm speaking of Acts. I'm speaking of the reference that I made in Acts in the previous video. It says don't eat the blood or strangled flesh. It's one topic. That's my scriptural reference. There may be others, I don't know, but that's where I pull my understanding from. And I didn't fully explain that to you, so I figured I'd do it now while we had time. Okay. I'm still also working on the symbolism for the atonement. I'm not working on it, but I am going to work on it. I did tell you, but I don't have it ready for this. But there was one other thing that I wanted to address. Let me see. The fat right here. Okay, so we discussed the head, and I was saying this fat is not fat, it is the body. And so let's take a look at the word. Hold on. Let's get the right one up. See if I can get my computer to work with me here. There we go. From an unused root word meaning to be greasy, suet, fat. And I stand by what I said. You can really make this mean anything. It's only used 3 times. And there's no root word, of course. So, here we are. H6309, greasy, suet, fat. So, the Greek word is this, peder. So, we'll look at that first, and then we'll look at the translated word, which is suet, So we're going to look at both of them and see if we can draw a meaning. So I looked up pay first. And I used the dictionary here in Eastward, and you'll just go straight up to dictionary and then click dictionary and then search. And I searched pay first, but I only found one word that matched pay. And it's this right here, this like this upside down G with 3 dots under it, and then this upside down L looking character with 3 dots under it. So that's pay right here. And then for the der part, it's the upside down L and then this little swirly here. So that's what we're going to use for der. But for pay, just found one word. Apparently a foreign derivation, a pavilion or palace, a tent or a palace. So that's the first word we have. So for der, we have amplitude, that is concretely a mantle, also figuratively splendor, goodly, a robe. So something nice. Now we can use the root words, and I often try to use the root words, but see there's 2 words here that this comes from, and der. But there's only one root word, so this could go for or it could be for der. So I already looked it up. It doesn't really fit our definition, so I'm just going to skip it. But if there's 2, they'll divide it. They'll give you the root word for one, then they'll give you the root word for the other. Circumvallation. I looked this up, but I don't exactly recall what it meant. So let's look it up together. Circumvallate, it means to surround with. Siege works. Okay, to surround with siege works. Being any of approximately 12 large papillae near the back of the tongue, each of which is surrounded with it. Okay, so it's a part of the tongue that's surrounded. It's surrounded by a rampart or ditch. Okay, so it means is something that is surrounded. Okay, so let's get out of there. Okay, so it's surrounded. It means or to surround. I can't recall. I'm not going to look it up again, though. I'm embarrassed. I think it's being to surround. It's surrounded. It's surrounded. Okay, so der, you see the upside down L and the little curvy here. Honor, used figuratively for the capital city of Jerusalem. Glory. Der, an apartment. Bed, chamber, innermost part, a parlor, or within, something within. Der, a tower of a flock. That's the name of something there, and it has too many syllables. It has 2 words, but it has too many syllables. Nader, a promise to God, also concretely a thing promised, a vow. To arrange, order. So that's enough. We'll look at this last one here. An arrangement, to muster. Okay, so the picture that I'm drawing here is first and foremost an apartment or a container, that a surrounding. And then secondly, it's honor. It's honored, and it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of splendor, a goodly robe. This is your body. Your body is the surrounding, a compartment for your innards. So just as when we look at the definition for head, it's not head. It's I don't think it's defined as a surrounding, but it's not head. to shake, meaning to shake. Means shake the head, most easily shaken when literally or figuratively. A band, beginning, capital, the chief. So, but this is the compartment for your brain. This is the compartment for your brain. This is the compartment for your body. So we also want to take a look at the translated word, the way that it was translated, which is suet. So let's take a look at our English etymology. Okay, so suet. We don't have to look this up, but oh yeah, let's look this up because I noticed something interesting after I had already copied it. So it says that it was in late 1400s. See, now I noticed this because when I was doing chapter 4, they put the word ignorance in there. And the word ignorance is from the late 1700s, almost the 1800s. But they could have easily have put the word mistake. Mistake is a much older word that could have easily have been translated into the Bible. But they put so much New Testament stuff into the Old Testament, they didn't even realize that that word didn't even exist back then when the Bible would have been translated. So they put in ignorance instead of mistake. But this word here, suet, is from the late 1400s, or so they tell us. Solid fat formed in the torso of cattle and sheep, probably from an Anglo-French diminutive of Old French seu, fat, lard, grease, tallow, modern French screw, from the Latin word sebum, tallow grease. So let's look at the date of sebum. Sebum, a secretion of the sebaceous gland, is from 1728. So how is this from the 14th century and this didn't come about to the 17th century? How is that possible? Suet is not from the 14th century. That's the only thing that's possible, because this word is not even from the 14th century. Anyway, so let's look at Sue, because I put Sue in here as well. So Sue, okay, where is it? Root meaning to follow. I guess that's the pronunciation. Anyway, the root word means to follow for Sue. It forms all parts of association. I thought I had a definition in here. Oh, here we are. This is better. From the 1200s, continue, persevere. From Anglo, also it means to continue or persevere. From Anglo-French suer, follow after. Oh, it means to follow after, continue. Old French suer. So it comes from the word suer, which makes more sense because it starts with su. Pursue, follow after, sue in court, follow, continue, ensue. That's enough of that. So let's go back to the last example, which is suffix. Prefix, as you know, comes before the word, and then suffix comes after the word. It comes after. So then you have sub, word forming, element meaning under, beneath, behind, from under, resulting from further division, from Latin preposition, sub, under, below, beneath, at the foot of, etc., etc. Sue means after or below or beneath, which fits perfectly. Now it doesn't. Now, of course, these have to be general. This is why I had a problem with haste, because everything has to be general, but it still fits. And not only does it fit, it fits far better than fat does. How does fat fit in with after or sub or any of that? It doesn't fit at all. How does fat fit with something that's honored? Well, fat can be honored because, of course, we say that's the richest part. But how does fat fit with an apartment, a pavilion, a home, or How does that fit in there? Explain that to me. All of these words can fit with a body. A body can, it's an honor. It's honored. It's a compartment for your organs. It's a home for your organs. It's under the head, in both literally and figuratively. The head is the most important. Well, in many ways. Of course, you need your heart to live, but you understand what I'm saying. The point is that this doesn't mean fat. It doesn't fit anything, and it's illogical. It means body, the head and the body, in order upon the wood, because it's a burnt offering. Anyway, I think that's all of the points that I had to make. Let's see here. Still working on atonement. Yeah. Sprinkling blood and atonement. I'm not opposed. I will say this, because I'm not I think I am opposed to sprinkling blood in the atonement. I'm not opposed to it. You know what I'm opposed to? I'm opposed to sprinkling the sin offering blood anywhere. I'm opposed to sprinkling blood all over the place, willy-nilly, and some just messing up stuff and making it dirty for no reason. I'm opposed to that. The Day of Atonement is once a year. Once a year, okay. Not the sin offering. Under no circumstances. That sin offering blood going in. Look, let me just study it before I start making commentary on it, because I don't really have anything to back up what I say about the Day of Atonement, because I have not studied it. I did read through some of it. But anyway, I'll look into that more, and then we'll discuss that. To be honest with you, I will probably make commentary on that, because I think it's going to come up in Leviticus 4. And I'm not going to be chasing around explanations for everything during this, in order to do a study on that chapter. But it's not necessary now. So we're going to leave this study as it is. And I will see you in the next video.